Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Rafid. Today our topic is about the Sumerians and the Mesopotamian civilization. So please like, subscribe and share my video and channel. From the mountains of Asia Minor flow great rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, in southerly direction and finally join the Persian Gulf. Long time ago, this Tigris-Euphrates valley was called Mesopotamia by the ancient Greeks and by others as the land of the Shinar and the Fertile Crescent. It was here that a great civilization was born around 3500 BC. The flood waters of these two great rivers deposited a layer of fertile soil each year, thus making it fit for large-scale agriculture. The availability of fine clay enabled many craftsmen to make beautiful pots. The soil was suited for making building materials like sun-dried bricks with which the immigrants began to build houses. This valley did not have natural barriers which could afford protection to the inhabitants from the invasions of foreigners. However, in its long history, this fertile valley attracted hordes of immigrants and invaders. The Sumerians belonged probably to the Indo-European group. They were the first settlers who occupied the land very near to the Persian Gulf, which they called Sumer. The Sumerians reclaimed the lands in their region after draining the marshes and brought it under cultivation. They cultivated wheat and barley and reared cattle, oxen, and donkeys to help them. The Sumerians were also known for their craftsmanship. They made beautiful pots and vessels of alabaster. They excelled in painting and sculpture. They invented the metal plough, which helped farmers in ploughing the land easily. They invented a system of writing called cuneiform. As they had no paper to write on, they used clay tablets on which wedge-shaped marks were made with a sharp reed. Thousands of these clay tablets have been discovered which reveal the history of the people. The Sumerians knew how to reckon time. They introduced the system of counting in 60s. They used it for measuring the time, a thing which has come down to us. Another popular unit was the number 12. They maintained regular account of their transactions of business and kept records of tax receipts. They also made progress in engineering, science and architecture. They used the wheel for making pots and for running their carts and chariots. Like the early Egyptians, the Sumerians worshipped many nature gods and built temples on mounds and hills in their honor. These temples, called ziggurats, look like very small pyramids with an ascending staircase in the middle, leading to a tower where the idol of God was located. Each city had a patron god. People brought food and animals to the temple to offer them as sacrifice. The priests helped them in conducting prayers and rituals. The priests commanded great respect, for they were thought to be representatives of God. The Sumerians developed independent city-states, which were governed by priest kings. The most prominent among their city-states were Ur, Uruk, and Eridu. Besides their religious functions, the priest kings supervised revenue collection, irrigation, construction of public buildings, and tower temples with the assistance of the nobles. The main temple with its tire terraces was full of markets, banks, factories, and storehouses of food grains. Thus, the whole economic life of the people was centered in the tower temple. Standard weights and measurements and money economy were in vogue. The Sumerian city-states were constantly waging wars with one another. Floods often caused heavy damage to these city-states. Added to these two, their country had no physical barriers to prevent the onrush of foreign hordes, so their kingdoms were easily conquered by the most powerful Semitic king of the Akkad, Sargon I. The whole of Mesopotamia was unified around 2600 BC by this ruler whose subjects adopted the Sumerian culture. We will discuss about the Akkadian Empire after this video.